Back to my channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Ooh, the light is not on. Give me 1 sec, y'all. 1 sec. I gotta find the remote. This little light remote. Is it on? On. There it is. We could change it to different colors. Like we go green. Oh, I don't know if I like the green. Red. We could do a little, let's see, and make sure that the camera is facing up. Look at that red. Feel like I'm in the, I don't know, purple. Oh, I like that little cute purple. Shout out to everybody in the chat, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Yes. For those that are wondering, I had this on hold initially. Let me tell you what's going on. So if you guys know that I've been following and covering some of Riley's case, a young man who was found out of Tennessee. Okay. Really unfortunate situation. We've been following it. There was a link and we were getting feedback from sources, the press specifically, that Riley, that there would have been a family conference, or excuse me, press conference, but that is not the case. We're finding out that that's not the case. It was a link to the conference from the day before yesterday. So please note that. I am, however, working on bringing somebody on the case that I think is very important, especially when it comes to misinformation. That's really going to help us, especially on social media. Give us some perspective on what to do when we're covering some of these true crime cases. You guys know nobody's perfect. We're always thriving to try to do things better. Absolutely. So that I'm still waiting to hear back from. So please know this is not pertaining to Riley. We're going to talk about this interview that Aaron did with William Good from Streets, all right, Scientology Audit. Now, this is an important interview, I think, because we saw a little bit of, like, first of all, we've seen a lot of William, right? We definitely saw him get assaulted. We've seen a little bit of assaults happening here in the, with the protesters. We just saw the one over here on um, Denver, which was pretty huge. So it's a lot happening, and I feel like some of these Scientologists are really, it's starting to get a little bit scary, right? Well, actually, it's been a lot scary. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's been a lot scary, okay? A lot scary. So we have to kind of call this out and, just be mindful. I thought it was interesting that William went on Aaron's channel to talk a little bit about this because it's an important topic for sure. Let me see what y'all are saying. Shout out to everybody. Thank you, Chrissy. Chrissy, thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to all the members, you guys. Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and get on it. Now, I have to say something right quick. Um, some people really think that they're clever. Let me just say this much. So somebody went into like an unrelated post, all right, totally unrelated to the protesting. Hi, Down the Rabbit Hole News. I just thought I'd share with you to check out this channel. And one of the protesters is talking shit about another protester. Ooh, 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 ooh. Like, I think it's so tacky. I've said it before. I don't give a crap I don't give a shit about that. Y'all need to stop that. Please, if you leave comments like that with good intentions, if that's what you're thinking, you're going to get blocked. You really are. I don't care about any of that. All right? That's not what it is. So tacky. It is so tacky. And I get these comments all the time. I get them on one protester to the other protester. And I'm like, I am not the mother of the protesters, y'all. They don't come for me and ask me, what do I think of? No, stop. Stop it. It's very tacky. And so they came over here and they wanted to make sure that I saw a video. I get tired of that. Honestly, I really, really do. It's not that, I think we all have a level of drama in our channels. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it's so like stupid to do shit like that. And then you come to a creator, this is how you get blocked. You come into a creator's channel that she's not, I'm not talking about that. I don't care about that. I don't care. I don't care. Okay? Like I said, I'm not your mama. I'm not. It's very juvenile for sure. I'm not your mother. I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's all right. Cool. Can we get it together? Because honestly, I think that this is something that we could definitely learn from. And like I said, one thing that I'm not gonna do is try to take away from the really from the message to expose this cult, to continue to bring awareness to it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, definitely. You said the claiming protesters are fighting is a tactic. And honestly, I don't really care. I really don't care. Johnny, shout out to Johnny Crack TV. Johnny Crack TV knows how this works, right? They want you in the mess if they write that stuff. That's right. So please don't write that stuff. I do not give a shit. I don't care. I really don't. The message is that they're protesting out there and they're doing a lot to bring awareness to it. And that's what I'm here for. Y'all want to see some fighting? Go over there. Okay? All right, let's go. Let's get it together.
Not, that got me my nose broken too. You don't want to necessarily get your nose broken.
But I'll tell you what you did not do was hit that guy back.
Not one time. Not
That's,
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Francois in court paperwork makes it sound like I was the absolute aggressor in that, and I was threatening to that I was choking some guy, and his friend had to come to his aid. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I just took all those punches. I'm willing to take those punches. Like I tell people all the time, if you had done that, somebody had done that to me 2-3 blocks away, I'm going to treat it differently. I'm going to probably fight them. I'm going to fight them. When it comes to the protest, though, I will never swing back. I've had somebody spit on me, blow snot on me, punch me in my face. I'm not going to throw back. I'm going to document it, and I'm going to document the fact that they are the aggressors, and I am doing absolutely nothing as far as a retaliation.
You know, that is so hard. I'm telling you, I just don't think that I could have that kind of like, I don't know, self-control not to do anything about it. Is that kind of like, I don't know about you guys. I don't think I could have that kind of self-control. Honestly, I feel like it would be very hard for me not to fight back. Somebody spit at me. I mean, I'm just letting you know that's very hard not to fight back. I would be pissed. Okay? I would. I would totally be pissed. I would be upset. I would be wanting to do something about it. I would be definitely gonna do something about it. I would. So yeah, it takes somebody very much with self-control not to do that. Okay.
Okay, I want to talk about the subject of trespassing. Sometimes it can be hard to know what's trespassing and what's not. Like the test center, they've got that entrance. It's a doorway. It's a facility where they're literally inviting everyone to come in. I would have to assume that anyone out there who's either intentionally trespassing or trying to trespass should be avoided or ostracized, in my opinion, because I think that's the kind of stuff that Scientology will send in agitators to try to get people to trespass specifically. Like it's one of the easiest things to possibly get someone arrested for. I haven't seen anyone arrested for trespassing yet, but just what are your thoughts on that subject?
Listen, I made a big deal about that at the test center when we were there. Two things: made sure that we kept the doorway to the Scientology test center open and unobstructed, and kept the sidewalk clear enough to allow people to walk through. Why? I didn't want the police coming there and then giving a dispersal order because we are blocking up the sidewalk, we are blocking up the entrance, but also made it very clear, don't go in there, guys. Don't go in there. First off, it doesn't serve any purpose. Okay, walking in there and running a circle around the lobby area doesn't help our cause.
Exactly.
Trespassing doesn't help our cause. So when you're doing that, you're doing it for selfish reasons. You're not doing it to help out the cause. You're doing it for, I guess, at that point, just to get attention. People like that should be ostracized. People like that should be called out. Me personally, if I see, I'd be like, hey, listen, don't do that again. All right, you're hurting everybody. This isn't about you. It's about everybody out here. Don't make it bad for us. So yeah.
I think it's interesting to even call this out because, like Aaron had said the other day, he's like, you're going to have people that are infiltrating in this circle that are Scientologists that are purposely trying to bring a level of violence or trying to make the protesters break the laws. We have to be able, like, I don't know about y'all, but these protesters have been, kind of really together and whatever. I'm wondering if they've ever really thought about, well, I mean, they're out there going together and they're making sure that they're filming each other, right? But like, it almost feels like it needs to be a bit of tag teaming to a certain degree, where if somebody's doing a little too much during the protest, like, hey, listen, why don't you go take a break? You look like you're having a bad day. Maybe this isn't the stream for you, or maybe you need to maybe go take a walk, maybe come back some other time, like the protest is still going to be there, right? So I'm hoping that they are able to call on each other enough to be able to do that. Uh, because it does take a minute, but I also think that it takes a really good relationship between each other to call that out.
Yeah, listen, don't trespass. There's really no reason to. What purpose? Everything that you do out there when protesting, you should say to yourself, okay, why am I doing this? What purpose does it serve? And will this, what will be the end result of this? If there's no sort of benefit, then don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, the next question I want to ask you has to do with vandalism. I think what's incredible is that for all the protesters and all the spectators that have been showing up every day for months, there's not been one instance of vandalism or even alleged vandalism. So it's a subject that maybe doesn't even need to get discussed. But has anyone shown up and tried to encourage that kind of stuff?
Oh no, listen, somebody had come into the test center, had nothing to do with us, came there after the test center had actually closed for the night and ripped one of their numbers off of the building. No, I wasn't there, and the protesters had essentially left. That was just one idiot wanting attention. My thing is, we got to set the tone with this stuff and let people know. Listen, this is not. We are not. This is unacceptable. As I would always say, we're going to win this war. The only thing we can do is lose it. All right. It's inevitable. We are going to win this. We can lose it with our own bad behavior. So let's not have any bad behavior. We don't need to resort to those sorts of things. So listen, I'm not the type of person who usually says, let's police this protest or whatnot. But in some ways you have to, because you are always going to be defined by your worst elements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, good. I've started a whole bunch of good questions here. Let me kind of go down these. First of all, we got Denver Scientology Audit in the chat. Jay, awesome to see you in here, man.
So, but you know what, Jay from Denver, definitely good. I mean, I don't know, like he amazed me with just the way in which he handled himself was definitely very much admirable, I would say. And then it was crazy because it was like he was on the guy, all right, and then you had the other two Scientologists that were, I don't know, trying to like distract him. I just felt like y'all are doing too much. Jay is fine. He's waiting for law enforcement. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, I'm going to take these out of sequence, actually. Okay, Michael Andreas says, you can be arrested for fighting words, but the F word is not a fighting word. Yeah, I think fighting word is a legal term, isn't it?
I mean, listen, if it is, I'm unaware. Yeah, it's in California, we call it criminal threats, right? You have to you have to literally say that I am going to hurt somebody. They're trying to say that I had said fighting words by calling this guy a drug addict, even though he has 3 songs on his album about using drugs. But apparently that was enough, to be considered fighting words by her. From a legal standpoint, it's not getting anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere with that.
I got a Google search here that's referencing something from the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee for some reason, but it does say fighting words are defined as words which by their very utterance inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of peace. Such utterances are no essential part of any exposition of ideas and are of such slight social value as a step to truth. Okay, whatever. Fighting words are spoken words directed to the person of the hearer, which would have a tendency to cause acts of violence by the person to whom individually the remark is addressed. The term fighting words describes words when uttered inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace. That sounds extremely subjective and open to interpretation.
So if I were to say I am going to, like, as far as fighting words go, I am going to X, Y, and Z. I will X, Y, and Z you. I don't know, something like that. I would say those were be fighting words. I mean, you're threatening to get physical with somebody or do something, cause some harm, hurt somebody.
Yeah.
What was the phrase that you used? The actual phrase that California law enforcement uses?
422 PC criminal threats. You have to literally make a threaten to hurt somebody, threaten to inflict injury, things like that. Me hurting.
If I say that I am going to yada 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 you, there you go. But saying that I'm going to close a restaurant or I am going to expose this cult, those aren't really like physical threats. I don't think you can physically threaten to, like, can you make a threat to an establishment? I guess if you made a BOMB type of threat, I guess so. But they're fighting words and they're more legal-ish fighting words. Like, I'm going to expose your business. That's not a fighting word. I'm saying you're going to expose the business. I'm going to close your business down. Those aren't fighting words. I don't know.
hurting his feelings. His feelings that don't count in that.
Right. We got Confident Chris in the chat. Good to see you, Chris. Oh no, Nora asks, should people protest alone or with others?
I mean, that's up to the individual. I have no problem protesting on my own. Sometimes if you wait around for other people to show up, nobody's going to show up and it never gets started. I was out there at the test center for months doing it, and then people started showing up. So that's up to each individual. Sometimes if you're really worried, if you're worried about your safety feels unsafe, then maybe you need some other people out there.
What do you guys think? Should people protest alone or with others? I think others. I think people should always be in a group. But then you kind of run the risk of the labeling that happens. I feel like if you are in a group, it does cost more attention. But if you're alone, you're also a target. I mean, we saw what happened with one of the Chris's when he had his somebody physically assault him. When we all saw that shit, I would never do it alone. Especially at night, buddy system for sure. Yeah, right. Petty boycotting has been around since businesses. Yeah, since businesses have been open their doors. You see, yeah, but groups, you're right, because groups can get targeted, right? So it really just depends. You call them your friends, not a group. Okay. A man alone is easy prey. We've seen that, Ned. We definitely have seen that. Yeah.
Personally, I don't need anybody out there. I'll protest on my own or with a crowd.
Right. We got Laura FM in the chat. Good to see you, Laura. We got Danny in the chat. We got Tao in the chat. Good gosh. We got Leah in the chat. We got Josiah in the chat. We got
Lord,
the full
all
house
the
rocking
squirrel
right
squad.
now. Okay. I do have a bunch of other questions here. Let's see. Taylor Tortorella. Question. Can you explain more about asking officers for their badge number and what are the benefits from asking?
Oh, wow. So there's no benefit for asking. If you get an officer's badge number, listen, strictly with the LAPD, this is not related to other agencies. Each agency is different, but there isn't any sort of public database related to badge numbers. So if you get a badge number, there's no way for me to find out who that individual officer is. If I ask them for their serial number, there are databases where I can look that up. We have a website called watchthewatchers.net. If you take an officer serial number and you type it in, it'll tell you their name, their age, their sex, what division they're in, what their salary is, benefits, things like that.
Which is all public information. My salary was public information. If you're a civil servant, your salary is public information, especially if there's any grants or anything like that that pays it. That's all public because it's it's a level of transparency. Now it's crazy because I remember before working in government there was this rule, like, you never want to tell people how much you earn, and then when you get into government it's like your salary is out there. All right, it just is. So kind of an interesting way to look at it. I know for me, I would say I was pretty high paying social worker, given how much social workers typically make. I would say I was probably a pretty high paying one out there. Given that most of the social work jobs are kind of hard to get any kind of promotional and, salary wise and everything, but that's all public information. You can't really hide that. You can't really hide that. So yeah.
If you have a serial number, there isn't any way. And it's quite honestly, we're going through a fight with this. Actually, a lawsuit was just filed yesterday, where for the last 2 years, we have been trying to get a list of officers' badge numbers. The LAPD has been telling us that, well, they don't have a list of the badge numbers, which is just, come on, it's outrageous. That's obviously not true. They have some sort of reference that allows them to see which officer has which badge number. But they've been fighting us over on that for a year now. They've literally breaking the law in the process. So a lawsuit was filed on it yesterday. So, long story short, if you're dealing with the LAPD, don't even bother asking for a badge number. Ask them for the serial number. It's more important than a name. There could be a number of, say, Daniel Rodriguez, but there's serial.
It's very true. It's a very common name. Yeah, Monica, if you want to send it to me, you could send it to me on email or send it to me on IG, whichever works. Thank you, love. Shout out to you. I know that there's been a lot. I know that they just released a body cam footage. Lord have mercy. That is a mess. And then we also have the news of what's going on over there with the whole royal family. I don't cover the royal family like that, but it's breaking news right now. There's a lot of breaking news in different sectors and stuff. Film the protesters. You don't need multiple protesters, just a friend to film. What if the person filming gets attacked? You know, I personally, I feel like there still needs to be a really good safe distance. Like, yo, especially with Jay's attack, you know what that taught me is that people don't give a shit. If they're gonna attack you, they're gonna attack you, right? So film or not film, but the thing is, filming gives you a level of protection. No worries, Monica. Shout out to you. Thank you, love. So yeah, I don't know. Chrissy says yes. It's been Phil. Yeah, it's been a lot of breaking news today for sure. There's a lot more breaking news that we got to cover for sure, for sure. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But I wanted to definitely talk about this because I think that this is an important piece as we're talking about protesters and First Amendment and everything. You know, being more solution focused about certain things like this, and it's great to have somebody like William who has been who's been role modeling and helping those protesters. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but as far as auditing, I have learned so much in the last 3, 4 months about this. And not only that, but just how much in bed Scientology is with the LAPD. All right. I mean, they're over like I said it before. They're so in bed. They're in like a California king size bed doing the 69. All right. That's what they're doing over there. That's how much in bed Scientology and the LAPD is at. That's what they do. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Paz says, never alone and clearly need to start filming before you leave your vehicle. Most, possibly all of what happened to Jay definitely happened in broad daylight. Yes, you're absolutely right. Why are you laughing, Kitty Coo? Kitty Coo's over here laughing. Isn't it true? Am I like, I said it before. I said, y'all, they're like on that California king size bed doing the deed. And we're just kind of like watching, like, are they really like doing the deed right in front of us? Oh, yeah, they really are. That's what they're doing. You know, that's what they're doing. People don't help anymore. They're afraid that cops will, yeah, they're kind of like, they're just acting out or you get sued. I cannot. Anyways, shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are too much. Okay, let me hit play.
Numbers are, individualized towards one person. So get their serial number, and with that, you can get all the information you need.
That's awesome. Someone's talking to Hellcat in the chat, but I cannot find him in there. I must be missing it, but I'll pull him up if I see him. Okay, so let's see. I have a bunch of good ones here. Okay, SJ wants to know, should a protester always call the police when someone grabs their phone? And is it important to call immediately and be the first one to make the claim to the police?
I say it is. Listen, the way that they've been weaponizing the police against us, I think it's important to document and get it out there. Even if the police are not going to act, even if they refuse to take the crime report or whatever, it's still important to document that you wanted the police called, that you called the police, and to try to get somebody out there to take that crime report. So yes, if they anything, I will say this: they will, in a heartbeat, call the police against you. Okay, fair game. Make sure you use the same exact tactics back.
That's right. That's I mean, but it also shows. I think that is what with calling the police, especially in the LAPD area, it shows who they really support. Think of who's been arrested here. Who's arrested first? Who do they consider victims? Think of the fact that they're watching these streams, knowing what's going on and watching. That's why, Eric, I said they're doing the deed right in front of us. They really are. They're doing the deed. And we know that it's happening, and we're sitting there and we're just like so surprised by it while the shit is happening. They have no real couth about it. Is it just weird? I mean, I'm just saying. They're absolutely in bed with one another. Beware. Seeking reason for the unreasonable, you just might find it. Petty, you're right. This is why I was saying what I was saying. It's like they're doing the deed. They're doing the deed right in front of us. Cash is like, doing the 69 side, I oh my, stealing on a California king size bed. That's what they do it. Okay. So yeah, it's really, really sad in terms of like watching this, especially if you're thinking you're calling the police because you're the victim of the crime and then the shit is happening right there. I mean, call it how it is. You know, I did not think you mean I said doing all the deeds. Good Nanya. They could be doing that. All listen. They're doing it all. All right, they're doing it all. You already know. Why is anybody surprised? It's just it is. I went there. I went there. I sure as hell did. And if you hear it somewhere else, you heard it from me. I'm just saying. And I called this out a long time ago. I certainly did. Anyways, let me go ahead and hit play on this.
Okay, good. St. Louis Scientology Audit wants to know what kind of lawyer should I have on retainer or a phone call away? How to find that? Tips on this.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you would like a First Amendment lawyer and maybe a family court attorney who's used to dealing with, say, restraining orders. I've been saying since the beginning, I will end up during the course of this, there will be 6 attempts to try to get restraining orders against me. I've been expecting it from the beginning. So I have
He did say this.
my main lawyer, who's also is family court attorney, who's been dealing with restraining orders and temporary restraining orders for decades. And then I have my other lawyer, who's an anti-SLAPP lawyer, one of the best in the country at this, to file sort of countersuits back at these people when they try to misuse the legal system to stop our First Amendment rights. So yeah, listen, ideally you would like a First Amendment attorney, a civil rights attorney, or a family court attorney on standby. It's not easy to find people who will do this stuff pro bono. I've been dealing with my lawyers for years, so we have that relationship. I can't speak for other people how to go about getting that.
So that's what I was just going to ask you is, how is it that the cost of these attorneys does not make the entire activity kind of self-defeating? Your attorneys work pro bono? How does that work?
So no, let's put it this way. When we're dealing with these anti-SLAPP cases, right? And essentially an anti-SLAPP, you have the SLAPP laws where if somebody uses a lawsuit or tries to get a restraining order against you in a frivolous nature that is meant to try to suppress your First Amendment rights, to try to stop your free speech, then you can file what's called an anti-SLAPP petition back at them. If you win that, they are now, first off, the restraining order or whatever litigation is immediately thrown out, and they are now responsible for all your accrued costs, attorney costs.
Wow. It's interesting. So they're kind of walking into that. Streets is one solid dude. Don't you get put on a certain list for doing the deed in public like that? Not if you're a Scientologist and the LAPD is your friend and you're doing the deed with the LAPD. That's what it is. That's what it is. You said, Donna, I do have him sped up. He does. He said Aaron talks a little funny when you speed him up. It's true. I would love to see their faces while they're watching your live stream, hearing you say that, Rabbit. Who? The Scientologist? The LAPD? Somebody, right? Somebody asked me what I was drinking. I'm drinking, I think this is is it Zoa? One of the Zoa drinks. I think it's one of those, is it The Rock who made this? It's an energy drink. Yeah. So, Sea Org member was a man on a mission. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that as time goes by, we're going to find out more and more and more how much Scientology is really in a lot of people's pockets. I feel like, let me tell y'all something. Let me just put this out there. I've been covering, oh God, Xenu is one freaky dude if he's watching the deeds. Just say, look, or whatever. One freaky being, because I don't know if he's a dude. Whatever Xenu is, whatever it is. I was thinking about this too. Shit, you just took me off my conversation. I got to say something. Somebody went in my comments and I was talking about, Jay and everything. And I said something to the effect of the chupacabras. And I was like thinking, I was like, Xenu and the chupacabras. For those that don't know who the chupacabras is, Google it. All right. But it was like this mythical creature back in the day, as a kid, when we would watch the public television, especially the news in Spanish, there was this like mythical creature that would exist, right? And he was like killing animals and stuff, and it was like an alien type of creature. So for whatever reason, I was thinking, I was like, did I really say chupacabras? And then Xenu came to mind, and I said, what if they're related? Because they're both kind of alien like. Anyways, let me stop. Okay. I CK, I'm going off the rails, but it was something else that I was supposed to bring up. Okay, this is what I was going to bring up because y'all just like, let me bring it back. The chat is so distracting sometimes. Y'all distract me too much when I'm trying to make a point. This is what I'm trying to say. I personally feel like we're going to find out as time goes by that a lot of these institutions, like especially with this cult, it's really, really, really colliding. Yeah, okay, I'll talk about this here in a minute. They're really colliding. So we just had the whole thing quiet on the set with the Nickelodeon thing. It just makes you wonder how often stuff like that has to do with Scientology, because then you have Scientology, Hollywood, you got all these movie stars that are somehow Scientologists, and they take a blind eye to a lot of shit that is going on, right? So it just makes you wonder a little bit of like who else is in bed with who. Nickelodeon, it's like the worlds are colliding for me because I'm talking about different topics and whatnot. But yeah, Reb says it's not a mythical rabbit, totally real, along with Bigfoot. Even we even have signs to watch out for him. What are you talking about, chupacabras? Here, I always thought that chupacabras was an animal. I was told growing up that chupacabras was like an alien. Hold up. Chupacabras. Okay, let's look this up. All right. But somebody said it was an animal. I don't know. I thought it was an alien. But it's like a vampire type of alien. So chupacabra means goat sucker in Spanish. And according to reports, the creature acts like a vampire, killing animals by sucking their blood. Though similar stories date back to several decades, the first major wave of alleged chupacabra sightings came from farmers in Puerto Rico in the late 1980s, early 90s. I remember chupacabras, that being like a huge deal. People's chickens were like, you would find animals with no blood whatsoever. And then I remember specifically a story of somebody saying that they came out of a spaceship or some ish like that. Lord have mercy. Let me pull this up. Anyways, I guess this is my childhood, y'all. I was a child when all this. It was like the demon coyote. Y'all remember that? Our mythical beasts. Look at this. Yes. Okay, like an oral demon coyote. See, y'all are. This is like a Bigfoot. Well, let me just say that nobody has ever caught the chupacabras. You said Harry Potter game chupacabras is a lizard type animal. So there's no way that chupacabras has anything to do with Xenu at this point. Are they related at all? I don't know. How do you know they're not related? I'm just saying. Y'all are really going in on this mythical creatures. The Scientologists sure do act like they've had their brains sucked out. I don't know. Y'all saw that guy, what's his name, Curtis, on the floor when Jay had him on? He looked like he was praying to a Xenu right then and there. I just like was like poor little Tink Tink. Poor guy.
So my lawyer, I'm dealing with two SLAPP cases right now, Lapu Bell's lawyer and another incident where they're trying to claim Scientologists trying to claim elder abuse. If we win these, and I expect to win these, in each of these cases, they're going to owe my lawyers $20, $30, $40,000. Do they have it? I don't know. It's not my problem. But there has to be some sort of repercussions to make sure that these things aren't just constantly filed in a frivolous nature. I think, and I would say with this Laku Bell one, it's such a slam dunk. I can't believe the incompetence of their attorneys on that side is just, it's so evident. They have no idea these are not litigators. And I tell you what, they're going to have a hard time in court. So yeah, listen, it's important to, if it can become pro bono if you win these, if you have anti-SLAPP cases and you win them, the other side is going to pay for your costs.
Very interesting. Okay, St. Louis Scientology Audit has another question here. What happens if you do threaten someone, or if someone takes something that you've said as a threat?
Yeah, don't do that, because that's a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. I mean, listen, let's talk about threatening, right? So Lapu Bell's owner is saying I'm threatening to close down their business. That's a fact. We're going to close down your business. That's not a criminal threat. It's not a threat of violence. That's just us using our First Amendment rights to speak out against what we're speaking out against. Now, if you say I'm going to slap you, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to come find you and hunt you down and hurt you and stuff, yeah, that's a threat. You don't want to say that.
What if you say something like, I dare you, hit me, I dare you, go ahead, do it?
That's not a threat.
Okay, all right. Might not be wise, but not a threat.
Yeah.
Be willing to get your nose broken. But sometimes it's worth it. I'll get my nose broken every time for the, if it proves a point. If it
I'm telling you, y'all can't like kill this man's spirit. I swear. I don't know.
shows how corrupt. First off, it shows the violence by this restaurant and shows that the police didn't take it seriously. I think I'll take that.
That's what I understand, Kelly Dime. I think the guy died, the guy that like the founder of it, but he also was a Scientologist. Y'all see how far this shit reaches? Pretty far.
Every time. So.
I did see you post on Twitter. You had your nose reset the other day.
Oh yeah. Nice
Ooh.
and straight.
You did,
now.
right?
Yeah.
It looks pretty
was-
straight now.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, when it happened, I when somebody's yanking at your skull and you're hearing things crackle and pop,
Ooh.
and then afterwards, like, okay, we're done. I'm like, well, I have to sit here for like 15 minutes. I can't move. Then to get into an Uber, and the Uber driver just wanted to talk my ear off. I was in no. Yeah.
What was worse, having it broken or having it set?
Oh, set, but it wasn't even close. Having it broken didn't hurt. My nose bled for a couple of an hour or two, but after that, I didn't feel any pain. I was out the next day in the middle of some crunchy protest. After I had it reset, I slept on my couch for 36 hours. I couldn't do anything. I was I was in a different place.
Wow.
Okay, here's another one from SJ. How do protesters handle instigators and someone trying to bait them into saying something or doing something that could result in charges?
Don't fall for the bait. You just have to have self-control. Like I said, even when I'm at my loudest and I'm screaming, I think sometimes people think that means I'm somehow out of control. I'm not out of control. I know what I'm doing. Everybody needs to be under control. So you have to be cognizant of every word you say and make sure that what you say is not going to be perceived as a criminal threat. Don't throw that first punch. You have to be willing to just take punches. I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying you have to. At least I will. Okay, not everybody has to. You have a right to defend yourself. So if somebody's going to come up to you and do some stuff, you have the right to pull out some pepper spray and defend yourself. But with me personally, I'm never going to punch back. Not with this. Not with the Scientology stuff.
Right. Okay, let me see. I do have a bunch more, but I've starred so much, I'm going to sift through them and select particular ones. Okay, another one from SJ. Is it appropriate to physically defend someone assaulting another protester?
This is it.
I mean,
it's
I
a
have
good
to
question.
say yes. If you're seeing somebody assault, me personally, I'm not going to just sit back and say, "Oh, please stop," or "Let's wait around for the cops to come in a half an hour." Somebody's having their head pounded. No, I personally am going to step in. Yeah, I mean, listen, this stuff isn't easy, and Scientologists have shown that they're willing to get dirty. Understanding that before you come out there, understand what you're walking into. Okay.
That's important. I think everybody needs to be aware of what they're walking into. If you're going to go out there and protest everything. I mean, even that whole, like when Jay got assaulted, oh my God, totally unprovoked. Guy came right in his face, took his shit. And really, I was thinking about this. I was like, he didn't just assault him, he kind of robbed him. He was trying to take his devices from him. He was trying to break into those devices to really get more information about Jay. That's what that was all about. Yeah, definitely. Chico, thank you for gifting memberships. If you guys got a membership from Chico, put a heart in the chat. Thank you, Chico. Look, some of y'all got me thinking, and you guys got me thinking about the chupacabras. There's this creator by the name of, is it Watcher? Watcher? Hold up, let me show y'all. Look at this Xenu-like alien on his thumbnail. Y'all see that? This is why I say I was like, the guy was like a alien. The chupacabras was. Look at that. See? The horrifying killings of El Chupacabra mystery files. Now, who knows? But they're also saying that this is a real life chupacabra. Look at this. I mean, look at this. That just looks like a very hungry dog. Don't it? I don't know. Some folks have said it's an alien, but this looks like a really hungry dog. What is that? I don't know. See? I don't know. A nasty coyote? It's a dog, right? I don't think this is chupacabras. I think that's the dog. It's just like somebody needs to feed that dog. But look, I mean, they kind of give it this like Texas family claimed to have caught chupacabras. That was 9 years ago. See, that's just a dog. See, it's chupacabras. Y'all see how that guy looks like an alien? Tell me he don't look like Xenu right there. I know, right? It's a very ill dog. I think that was a dog. I don't think that was a chupacabras. It looks like a terribly neglected dog. Right. Shout out to everybody. Everybody's like, what's a chupacabras? Y'all gonna have to Google it, all right? And let me know what you find out. But that was like totally my childhood. As far as I think that's what they would say to scare kids and making sure they came home on time or something. You know? Yeah, they said that in Texas. That was about 9 years ago. They found the chupacabras. They did. I don't know. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments about it. Mm,
It's not easy, and I applaud anybody who can come out there. And if you can't come out there because you don't want to risk it, I get that too.
mm-mm.
It's not for everybody, but yeah, at the end of the day, you can defend you can defend people around you.
What would your thoughts be on someone, if someone shows up, someone's doing the protesting, and they say their goal is to get arrested? What are your thoughts on that?
Go
Get them and tell them
home.
to get out of here. Go get arrested a block away. Me personally, I'd be like, listen, you want to get arrested? You go do it somewhere else. Don't be part of this. I'll be quick to put them out.
Yep.
But I mean, at the end of the day, is that easy for other protesters to do? I don't know, but I would hope that you have to understand you're putting this work in. You don't want to have it just, go down the toilet because one person wants to do something selfish, some sort of act to get publicity for themselves. No, you have to separate yourselves from them. Like I said, you're always going to be defined by your worst elements. So understand that.
Yeah. Awesome. A girl says, question, why do the police keep saying that you cannot record at the police department?
Because they don't know what they're talking about. You can't. So the lobby of the police department is a public facility, right? You're allowed to film in there. Just like you could technically go in a post office and do the same. It'd be a little annoying. You'd be an irritating person to do that, but you can do that.
Yeah, I've seen this before. You're allowed
But
to
yeah, you have
film
the right.
in public places. Please note that. Like if they tell you can't, that's misinformation. You can. You can.
To film in the lobby. Me personally, listen, cops will say stuff. Doesn't mean that they're actually following the rules or following laws. They will just say stuff. So they will tell Solomon and others, you can't record in here. If I walk in there, I wish they would tell me that, because I'm going to tell them, no, we're going to then arrest me then. And we'll just keep on going. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to back down because you do have the right to record in there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, here's one. Pincushion says, on Hollywood Boulevard, you said bring the community along. But at La Poubelle,
you know what? Pause. I might actually be able to do that in person. I might just drive over there and just try to interview him, but it just depends. Because I mean, if I drive over there, I watch Baby Bunny, so I have to be able to have somebody watch her. I wouldn't bring her anywhere near any of that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do like an in person. You never know. Rabbit on location. I've driven by there, but you just never know what to expect. I mean, because these people they wild out over there. Y'all saw when it just seen Jay get attacked the way that he did was a little too much. So I might just do it in person. I don't have like the equipment to go to a site. What is it? Is it a gimbal? What's that one little stick that holds your phone? What's that? What's that? Um, what's it called? I might just go in person just to see, and then I don't know. I might. Yeah, you never know. If I'm in the area, I might just stop by. But let me know your thoughts.
Protesters arguing with other business owners, isn't that alienating the cause?
Yes, don't argue with other business owners. Just don't do it.
Which other business owners is being referred to here?
Is it
Probably the
gimbal?
sushi place. The guy comes out and he defends La Poubelle often. Okay, that's fine. Listen, he can have his opinions. At the end of the day, we are here for La Poubelle. Let's focus on that. Ignore that guy, and let's not go spend your money at the other places around there. So I agree with that. Don't alienate the businesses around there.
Hold up. You said it's a selfie stick or a gimbal? Which one? Jamie's like, they see rabbit rolling. They're trying to catch me riding dirty. I've done that a couple times. It's like a gimbal, right? Or is it a selfie stick? Well, hold up. I just Googled it. It's a gimbal. Damn, those things are expensive. So this is the thing that holds your phone, right? It supports and it allows you to rotate. Those things are expensive. It keeps your phone straight. Right. Yep. Sure does. So yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I might just drive over there and do a little interview. It's a gimbal. No worries, Chico. Shout out to you. We'll be down here pretty soon. I don't know. You said gimbals are more expensive? Gimbal is way more expensive. See, I don't know if I can do all that. But I would love to do that. That'd be awesome. They stabilize your because otherwise I'd be like this, y'all. I'd be like this. And I don't want to do this. Especially I just don't. But I don't know. It removes the shaking. Okay. I don't think VT. I don't think it's called selfie stick. Selfie stick holds your phone. The gimbal stabilizes the phone with an internal program. Also allows other features. It's way more fancier. Ooh. You can buy a selfie stick, but the stream will be shakier. I don't know if I'm only gonna if I just stop by just to do a little interview, I just to see what's going on over there. I could do that. I mean, who knows? You said I'd just be cheap and stick to the selfie stick. I know, especially if I'm only gonna use it one time, for that time frame. Yeah.
Nice. Windy City Thetan Watch. He's one of the streamers in Chicago. Question: do you suspect every new person is a plant?
No, I don't suspect anybody's a plant. I think people get too caught up in that. Okay, it's like plant what? They're gonna ask questions and get information out of us. We're live streaming everything we're doing. The whole world
That's
is
right.
watching. So I'm not worried about plants. The only time I would be worried about a plant is if somebody's gonna come in there and start trouble. But listen, that sort of paranoia doesn't help anybody. Be smart about things. If you see somebody acting up, call them out on it or walk away from it. But no, I don't ever worry about that.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll add it. I'll add it to the Amazon wish list if anybody wants to. If they're able to get it, I'll add it in there. But I mean, yeah, I would say a tripod would probably be cheaper or a selfie stick or something like that. But I think I can get a selfie stick just about anywhere. Yeah, I'll put it on Chrissy. I'll put it on my Amazon wish list. But I definitely, if it's something over $80, I don't know about that. I'm just saying. You said they're great for vacations. I am rabbit. I don't really travel too much, but I'm always streaming in one place. But I don't know. Maybe I might. I might just visit over there just to see what's up. If I can find somebody, of course, babysitter for Baby Bunny, because I wouldn't bring Baby Bunny to any of that.
It is true, right? On some level, or on the most obvious level, the thing a plant would do is try to get people to do illegal stuff so that they could be arrested. But there's another level that Scientology might consider sending plants in. And that is, because this activity is becoming such a social activity, Scientology could conceivably send in plants to even, for a while, do good protesting work. And honestly, just try to sow division, sort of high school kind of stuff between protesters to try to get them upset with each other, to try to, divide them up. And I'm not saying every time that happens, it's a plant, because this is, any group is going to have drama. It's just the way it is. But I'm just mentioning it, that because that is a natural thing that will always exist within groups, Scientology will send in agitators to set off those sparks or to.
And this is why when y'all listen, let me say this. All right. And if you watching or you in the chat, the person that left me that information about, oh, there's one protester talking ish about another protester, take that shit over there. I don't want to know about it. Don't be leaving me that shit over there, because I honestly think that these are intentional agitators. I've seen this shit. Let me tell you, I still remember when the whole situation was happening with Aaron and the Aftermath Foundation. There were so many accounts in there that it just looked very much copycatish and very much trying to cause more chaos. So please know, if you're a creator and you're seeing this shit, you're seeing somebody with any kind of a narrative in your comments about somebody else that you don't really talk about, if you're not addressing that, just know that there's some malice behind that. Okay. You said, oh, Walmart has it for $50. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, Monica, we've seen it before. You saw it in BJ with her. So that surprise with, like, there's people that intentionally will get into groups to cause drama, especially if there's a narrative that they want to run. That's why I approach this. I call it out right away and say, y'all, take that shit over there. Take that shit over there, Linda. Far away from me. I don't give a shit. I don't care who's talking shit about who. That's not what this is about.
Pour gasoline on sparks. Like, that is something people should be aware of.
They should. And what they should do is not feed into it. Right. When
Yep.
you start seeing that, focus on the work, focus on the cause. Don't focus on interpersonal beefs and the drama and stuff. I don't listen to it. I'll be honest.
Yep.
When people tell me about the dramas going on, I'm like, I didn't know anything about that, because there's not enough hours in the day.
There
I'm only willing
isn't.
to give but so many hours to this a day, and it won't be over the drama stuff. So try to compartmentalize that, I guess. And if it starts getting to the point where it's becoming harmful, address it. Just or force those people out.
Cool. All right. Jolene Fields has a question. When can you deploy pepper spray? Does there have to be contact to prove self-defense? I'm not able to take body blows or head injuries if I don't have to.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can make a case that if somebody makes criminal threats towards you or brandishes a weapon or makes a fist, before there's contact made that you could do it. I'm just saying that when you're in the course of protests, if you use it before you're hit, you're going to be charged with a crime. So you have to keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind, technically under the law here in LA, you're not allowed to have pepper spray at a protest. It's actually illegal to have pepper.
Wait, say that again. Say that one more time.
Yeah, it's technically illegal to have pepper spray at a protest. So
really?
Yeah, so you have to keep that in mind. I've been at protests where people have been kettled, surrounded as the cops move in, and all of a sudden you look on the ground and you see like 30 cans of pepper spray on the ground because they know that you're not allowed to have that at a protest.
So can we say that that's at least a California rule?
That's a California rule.
Wow.
Wow. I guess that's kind of similar to like people who conceal carry. You can't be out there instigating stuff. There's a higher standard. You can't go out there picking fights knowing that you've got something on you concealed. Is it kind of the similar? Like, yeah, you can go to a protest, but if you come with pepper spray, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are things that are banned from protests like flags. Carrying a flag.
I did not know that. Are you serious?
No, yeah, because oftentimes the flags are used as a weapon. The whole purpose of carrying a flag there is for that pole. You turn it upside down and you start beating somebody with it. So stuff like that is enough to get you.
Lamb's like, bug spray works. I think anything related to weapons is probably a big no-no. Iron Rabbit, thank you so much for gifting memberships. If you guys got a membership from Iron Rabbit, please put a heart in the chat. Thank you, Iron Rabbit. You're awesome. And like SW was telling everybody, we do have a Discord for those members. Oh, you got to look at you. VTV got a membership. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that got memberships. If you guys got a membership, please, please, please put a heart in the chat and say thank you to the person. Erica's like, yeah, hairspray. Yeah, don't do all that. That's too much. That's too much. All right, guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. Of course, bringing some more awareness to this. Shout out to the Squirrel Squad. Shout out to everybody doing the good work and doing their best. You guys, stay out of the drama. If people bring you the drama, ignore it, block it, call it out, remove it, do what you got to do, and tell them you ain't about it because it's very much likely a distraction to what is the bigger picture. Okay? I will see you guys on the next one. Watch the full stream on Aaron's channel. Shout out to him. Shout out to William for doing the good work. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one because I got to go tend to baby bunny. She's over there protesting. I got to go deal with her. Rabbits out. Bye, guys.